Welcome to Everything to Guppy, a binding of Isaac, item cast, boss cast, trinket cast. I've already done boss.
You're gonna make that joke again, weren't you?
Well,
Boss
Gary,
Gags.
it's because Boss Nass. He's the boss I think of.
God damn it, the Boss Hog.
No, Gary, Boss Nass. I'm William Hughes, and I'm joined, as I am on every episode of Everything to Guppy, by the fly in my ointment, Gary Butterfield.
Oh, I'm glad. So for a moment, I thought that I was introducing this episode, and I was desperately trying to scramble to remember the lyrics to "Every Morning" by Sugar Ray, where every morning he puts a halo on the corner of his girlfriend's four-post bed, and trying to work that into Halo of Flies and You.
Well,
so that was really tricky, and I'm glad I didn't have to do it.
But I'm glad I got the outline of it. So
yeah.
I feel like I got all the benefits of that joke without either of us actually having to experience it.
It's like when a DVD has a storyboard deleted scene, and you're just like, well, okay.
This is what would have happened.
Yeah, here's some pretty bad drawings of what might have happened, and in my imagination can not quite fill in the blanks.
Gary Butterfield, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about Halo of Flies. All
right, this is a passive item that simply puts two pretty flies around you.
Mm-hmm. This is our first defensive item. I make a Skittle. Never mind, Skittle. This is our second defensive item in this recording session.
More directly defensive.
Yes. Our first orbital.
Ooh, yeah, there we go.
As a classification. The so this it just gives you kind of a head start. For Pretty Fly is a pill. It's something that can happen from playing the slot machine. It's not guaranteed in a run, but I feel like I tend to end most runs with a couple Pretty Flies. Mm-hmm. This gives you a head start on them and gives you two. You can only have 3 orbitals.
Yeah. So
this ends up being a really middle of the road item for me.
Gary,
it's just duplicated by too much.
Do you know off the top of your head what how the game determines which orbitals you get?
I think that flies are the lowest priority in them. So if you were to get like a cube of meat, a ball of bandages, and a sacrificial dagger, it will take the place of all your flies. Mm-hmm. Because flies, unlike all other orbitals, do not do damage. They just block shots.
Yep, they block shots, which is great when it happens, but there are much better items that also block shots more reliably.
It feels like I only ever get kind of considerable shot blockage when I have 3 orbitals. And then it's like, then you're almost unhittable. I feel like I've just kind of stood there and tanked, Isaac and Blue Baby before, more or less, and just not gotten hit. And then when I have 2 orbitals, I almost may as well not have any. If they're like fly size orbitals, because the hitboxes on these things matter. So the other thing about flies is they're very small. In this, and for a long time there was like a playground style rumor about the Binding of Isaac. Did you ever hear this?
I have not, Gary. Please share it with me, and I will pretend I am on a playground.
Okay.
Oh man, this slide looks really tall.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Do you want to do
do
that instead?
I'm going to be doing background dialogue of what I would be saying if I were on a playground.
Okay.
Well, you tell
me. All right,
let's. This will be borderline unlistenable, and I'm looking forward. to it.
No, it's okay. Let's do the scene. Hey, Will, I wanted to tell you about this rumor, but it's weird that you asked me to meet you at this playground.
Gary, it's because when I was a kid, I was always afraid of the tunnel slide at Collett Park in Terre Haute, Indiana, and that's where we are now. We flew out.
Oh. Are we going to put this aside and solve the tunnel slide murders of Terre Haute, Indiana?
Gary, that's exactly what we're doing. We're private eyes, but the fun kind.
This show is now serial. Or like The Signal. I could have done a better poll of like a fictional long-running.
That's okay, Gary. At some point, I'm going to do my rant about Up and Vanish on this show, and it'll be like our first half-hour episode. But
I can't wait to hear it again.
No, but I hate it more now, Gary.
Okay.
Gary, we're fucking doing this. There was literally an episode where fucking Payne Lindsay, who's the host of Up and Vanished, a very popular podcast for some reason, that kind of accidentally solved a murder.
Yeah.
He goes on one of the suspects' Facebook pages, finds song lyrics, and has a forensic psychologist analyze them. And one of them is, no shit, Eve 6, Inside Out.
Wow.
So the guy, this forensic psychologist, tick-tock of the clock is painful.
That's hilarious.
Like
that's really funny.
I think that's someone who is having an uncomfortable relationship with time.
That's really good, actually.
So
like this thing, like something somebody would write. Like that would be a very funny thing to show up in like a sketch or a sketch or something like that. Like that's very funny. God, like there's something to like just like falling back asswards into accidentally doing good.
Yeah, like,
you know.
I keep calling it like my favorite unintentional comedy podcast.
But the thing I found there, you won't believe. I would swallow my pride. I would choke on
But the lack thereof would leave him empty inside.
That's why I brought in Dr. Bryce Howard.
Well, Gary, we're still standing on this playground I used to frequent when I was a kid.
It's okay. We're just joking about a possible podcast idea. It used to be going around on forums and stuff. People said that if you got more pretty fly pills after you already had flies, each additional one would make them bigger. And that was a rumor that was going around for a long time.
I feel like maybe I have heard that rumor.
Wouldn't that be great?
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Like I mean, they don't need to be huge, but if it just did a little bit of effect so it didn't feel so shitty when you're just like piling fly pill. Like I can't stop eating these fly eggs in pill form, you know?
Gary, what if someone in our audience would like to play with this item? Is there an ASMR-related way you could get them to do that?
Yeah, and this one is nice because you can get it right. It's right next to the treasure room. This is for PC.
Mm-hmm.
3NAZ FBXB
Facebook, Xbox.
Facebook, Xbox, 3NAZ. This contributes to Beelzebub, as we talked about.
And it might be a reference to Halo of Flies, a song by Alice Cooper.
Yeah, which I've never heard before.
Yep. The only Alice Cooper thing I know is when he plays
Be My Frankenstein from Wayne's World.
Wayne's World.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Milwaukee.
That is, and he's in a band with Johnny Depp.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Gary, they're called the Hollywood Vampires.
God damn it.
And every picture of them is the scarfiest picture you've ever seen.
This playground sucks. Let's go.
Gary, what can people do if they want to support the show?
They can go to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv, give us a couple of dollar-dues, and really appreciate it. And then the other thing you can do is rate and review us on iTunes, or tell your friends, or talk about it on forums and the like. Throw it on that old Binding of Isaac Reddit, one of the only, actually the only Reddit I ever look at.
Maybe go to, again, Collett Park, Terre Haute, Indiana. Mm-hmm. Go up to whatever slides they have there and carve the name of the show into one of them.
Yeah. Take that, kids.
Take that, kids. These kids with their safe playground equipment.
Yeah, I never
we
thought
used
of
to play on jagged metal.
Like, take that, kids. I said it intending to be like, up yours, children, but it also sounds like somebody who doesn't know how to talk telling you to take children. Like pointing and saying, like, take that, kids.
That's even darker.
Yeah.
Gary, quick late tangent.
Okay.
When was the last time you got a splinter?
Oh, it's been a very, can't remember. It had to have been, more than a year ago, and it almost never happens to me.
Mine was bad. It was at Mount Rushmore. It was 4 years ago.
Okay.
The benches there are very rough. And I was wearing basketball shorts because I had been driving all day, and I slid across the bench. And I got one right in my upper inside thigh.
Ooh, which like a deep thick boy.
Yeah, and that's a hard splinter to check in public.
Yeah, and splinters is also just kind of like getting those out. I understand all the things you're supposed to do. You can get tweezers, you can rub a credit card on it, all those things. It's a nightmare. I hate getting splinters. No, you don't call me crazy, but I
Gary, slow down.
I just say I hate
radical.
Yeah, I'm very glad that doesn't happen to me very often. When's the last time you had a real bad paper cut?
Gary, I've never had a paper cut.
What?
I've never had a paper cut.
What? I find that very surprising.
If I have, it was such a non-event that I did not register it.
I get paper cuts with some frequency, and I've had one that was, I feel like it's still a paper cut even though paper didn't do it, where I was picking up a box that had a paper box back in my old copier service days, and they have this plastic kind of twine, fake twine,
Gary,
holding them shut.
It sounds like you're about to tell me about a plastic cut.
It's still called a paper cut though. Same principle, I think. Or I could just say cut.
Yeah. Let's just...
I mean, I feel like people, like true people who have had paper cuts who are listening know what I mean. And maybe if you had more of them, you'd understand.
You're right. I am lacking.
Your homework
experience.
is 10 paper cuts by the next time we record.
Oh, Gary, we record the next episode in literally 1 minute.
That's right. Get slicing.
And we don't stop recording between episodes, so there will be audio of this.
Yeah. Yep. Count them down, baby.
Good night.
Good night. That was fun.